Welcome back to CBS News 24/7. Well, there he is, the president-elect Donald Trump, celebrating being named Time Magazine's Person of the Year. He rang in the bell at the New York Stock Exchange today, and he had this to say about that distinction.
I have to say, Time Magazine getting this honor for the second time. I think I like it better this time, actually, but we did a good job. We had a great first term, despite a lot of turmoil caused unnecessarily. We're going to have a tremendous run. We have to straighten out some problems, some big problems in the world. When we left, we didn't have any of these problems. We didn't have Russia with Ukraine. We didn't have Israel October 7th. We didn't have the Afghanistan disaster. We didn't have inflation. We had no inflation. And we had a very strong economy. And we're going to do that again, but I think we're going to even up it because now we have experience that we didn't have.
There's also the headline that is punctuated by the video you see to our monitors. And here it is. CBS News confirms the president-elect invited Chinese President Xi Jinping to the inauguration. We reached out to the Xi administration to see if he plans to attend. At this point, there's no answer. President Xi, by the way, if that happens, would be the first leader in U.S. history to attend an inauguration from another country. Trump had this to say about that invite while leaving the stock exchange.
Well, I've invited they've all accepted. Everybody I've invited.
President Xi as well?
Very good relationship. Thank you.
What's your message to Republican senators up on Capitol Hill?
All right, let's move to our second position.
I got to apologize for that. Very hard to make out what he had to say. We'll try to turn that around and get it to you online. But let's talk about the significance here. CBS News politics reporter Libby Cathey joins us now from West Palm Beach. Nice to have you with us, Libby. What is driving that invitation to President Xi?
Yeah, good to be with you, Reed, from a windy West Palm Beach. I can actually tell you what Trump said there this morning, too, asked on the New York Stock Exchange about that invitation to other world leaders to his inauguration. This after our Jennifer Jacobs broke the news that Trump invited China's President Xi Jinping to his inauguration January 20th. That invitation made in the days just after winning re-election. Caroline Leavitt, the incoming White House press secretary, and others on the Trump transition team say this is reflective of Trump creating an open dialogue, not just with U.S. allies, but with adversaries as well. They say this is Trump being a leader on the world stage. And you're right, this has not been done before when in terms of a foreign leader actually attending an inauguration, the peaceful transfer of power on U.S. soil. But Trump continues to break norms, as we talk about on here all the time. We also know that Viktor Orban, the leader of Hungary, has been invited. He was at Mar-a-Lago across the bay behind me last week. So Trump inviting world leaders, saying that everyone he's invited has said they'll come, but we have not confirmed that Xi Jinping will be there. He is just saying that they have a very good relationship. You heard it there on the stock exchange floor there, Reed. But inauguration officials already preparing for the scenario of world leaders attending in Washington come January 20th, Reed.
All right, pretty fascinating times. And, you know, these bumps are causing some ripples. We saw the FBI director, Christopher Wray, saying he's going to step down. But also we're seeing somebody else sort of follow the same suit, the FAA leader. Tell us what you know about that and who could be waiting in the wings there.
Yeah, this is breaking news as of this morning. The current FAA director, Mike Whitaker, announced that he will be stepping down. Now, the FAA, they have 5 years on their terms. He still had a couple years left on his term, but stepping down before Trump takes office come January 20th. This, as you said, coming after Christopher Wray did the same. Trump has not indicated who he wants to put in that position, but this is just reflective of people in Washington, career politicians in some cases, or career diplomats, I should say, stepping down, seeing the change in Washington coming and wanting to get out now before Trump installs his own picks, kind of reading the writing on the wall. Democrats, meanwhile, sounding the alarm at things like this. And Whitaker having years left on his term, it's really to be seen who will replace him. But the FFA really had a rocky history, as we've talked about on your show, too. So we'll be reporting on that if Trump does name someone else and when that happens.
We know you'll have it covered. I have to ask you, though, more information from the Trump transition team. The president-elect has tapped loyalist Kari Lake as leading something called Voice of America. What is Voice of America? What kind of a reach does it have? And in promoting and sharing the messages of American media and American narratives to the rest of the country. And why Kari Lake? We knew she lost the governor's race, she lost the Senate race. Why her?
Yeah, Voice of America is this federally funded broadcaster. It actually got started around World War II to broadcast news about Adolf Hitler. It's broadcast from the United States to other countries, so those other countries weren't getting German propaganda, so they could get unbiased, nonpartisan media from the United States. It's kind of impromptu state media for the U.S., but has a huge impact and huge reach in countries across the world. Trump says he's tapping Kari Lake for this because of her background as a broadcaster. To give a little bit of context here for those who don't know Kari Lake, she ran for office for Senate, for governor in Arizona. She lost both of those elections, running as a close ally to Trump, running as an election denier as well. But before that, she was a Phoenix broadcaster and anchor for 20 years. And so Trump said that's why he wants to tap her for this position, because of her background as a news broadcaster. While now, of course, she calls many in the news the fake news and the enemy of the people. So definitely a controversial pick. And it's not totally clear that she can be installed right away, Reed. This position, while it's not Senate confirmed, the director of VOA, it's another one of those positions where the current person still has time left on their term. Also, there's an advisory board, I should say, that appoints this director. That advisory board has to be Senate confirmed. So that's going to take some time. Kari Lake, though, already taken to Twitter and saying that's an honor. She is going to accept this position, but we'll actually see when that takes effect. And I should say Voice of America and Trump have had tiffs in the past over their coverage of COVID. He did not like that. So this is another example of him trying to get his picks in advance and people that were loyal to him, Reed.
And the message out to the rest of the world filtered through Kari Lake if she gets in. Libby Cathey, CBS News politics reporter, thank you so much for that.